Okay, so I wanted to do a video on Thandie Newton's video on colorism. Some of the stuff I related to, like her saying how in Europe she was considered dark and she was considered black, you know. And I find it really, really weird. People will say that if she goes to another country, she's gonna be treated like she's not black. How are you going to tell her what she's going to be treated like in another country when you're not walking around with her face or her skin tone or her hair? You are not living Thandie Newton's life. So you don't know how she was perceived in other countries. Honestly, among lighter skinned people, usually people who are caramel complected like Thandi, are usually considered dark skinned. And it's so odd that some people don't realize that. But all you have to do is ask white people and light skinned people about this. And I mean, when I say light skinned, I don't mean the generic light skin like Zendaya Coleman. I mean like the very, very light skin, like the white passing type people, basically. Yes, caramel complected people are considered dark in comparison. It's just what it is. And if you look at Thandi Newton, honestly, and you compare her to many of the black people I have on here, and many of the people I have on here are Africans too. So, I mean, you could try and claim someone's mixed. They're literally African descent, and they're not mixed. So, yeah. Many of them look phenotypically similar to her, or even less stereotypically black than her. It's just what it is. Um, Thandi Newton has a beautiful facial structure, very Afrocentric facial structure. Her cheekbones are like very prominent and beautiful. You can see her mother. They showed a photo of her mother. It has very exotic, big, high cheekbones. But anyway, that it's just a thing that I just noticed, that people kept trying to act like she would be treated like she was mixed race. Thani Newton is very black passing in phenotype. And I understand that she was saying that she was treated differently to some black people. I always thought, though, I've had this experience myself, and I don't have a white father, where dark skinned black people will act like you're different. And I just think, well, does their opinion really matter on the grand scheme of things? To me, I've always wondered that. Why would their opinion matter when they're the minority of a minority? Like, most black people aren't even dark skinned. Yet you want to try and be the voice of dark skinned black people. You want to be the image of dark skinned black people. I mean, of black people in general. Even though you're just a small sector of the black population. Added to the whole fact that they will try and have this narrative that she basically was explaining by pandering, to dark skinned black women by saying like that they were basically having their roles taken because basically they should have had a dark skinned black person taking that role. Well, the last time I checked, there haven't been any cases where people were saying, like I said, dark skinned black people can't play a role for a brown skinned black person or a lighter skinned black person. I mean, if we're really going to do this, we should only let dark skinned black people play dark skinned black people's roles. It's going to be even less because the majority of black people aren't dark skinned. So then, in roles in Hollywood and things of that nature, they'll have more brown skinned black women, which is actually the general average of what black women and black men look like, is actually being brown skinned, not dark skinned. Anyhow, they'll have more of them playing those roles. So, I mean, like, if we were actually fair here, well, it would actually disenfranchise dark skinned black people, and dark skinned black people wouldn't be playing many of the roles that they're playing because it's misrepresentation, apparently. If it's misrepresentation, then it's misrepresentation to represent brown-skinned black people when you're dark-skinned. And, like I said, like with situations like Zoe Saldana and Will Smith and so forth, where people will try and act like they can't play dark-skinned black people's roles, with the whole thing of brown-skinned black people, many of them, can't play other races because they phenotypically look black. Thandie Newton, what race can she play? She can't play any other race besides black because she looks like a brown-skinned black woman. So, I just found it really terrible and disgusting. She was trying to act like, she should not take certain roles because they should be for dark-skinned black women. If it's for dark-skinned black women and every black role is for a dark-skinned black woman, then what role is a brown-skinned black woman supposed to play? Like, really, what role? You're basically making it where brown-skinned black women have no options. They can't play white women, they can't play Hispanic women, they can't play Asian women, obviously. They can't play black women. You have left it where there's no options. Why are you trying to disenfranchise women that are honestly not even, they're usually the main portion of black women. So we're not like the minority or something, but we are heavily ignored just to appease some dark-skinned black women who are a small percentage of our population of black women altogether. So it's just wrong to me. We should just have representation of all complexions and not like have it a situation where people are just like, oh, you can only represent this. Like black people can only be represented in this way as dark skin because we think that some people were negatively viewing dark-skinned black women and men. And it's like, if someone personally was doing that, that's a personal thing. But, as far as like representation, I think that dark-skinned black women are represented well and properly according to the ratio of dark-skinned black women to the black population, which isn't a high percentage. It never makes any sense to say that dark-skinned black women should have more of a representation than the majority of black women. And, this is a microcosm of issues among black people. Because a lot of the times, dark-skinned black people will basically control the whole black race, even though they're a small percentage of the black race. And they will basically try to make the brown-skinned and light-skinned black people feel like they are basically less than, that they should not have as much of a say, like what they feel, how they are treated, and things of that nature don't matter compared to a dark-skinned black person. They have the end-all, be-all say of being black just because they were born dark-skinned. How the heck is that proper? How the heck is that equality? How is that not colorism? Because you're literally trying to favor dark skin over other complexions. Just the same as if someone prefers light skin over other complexions. As a brown-skinned black woman, I've always thought it doesn't benefit anybody to put one complexion over another. Not even brown skin, for that matter. We should just believe in equality, but we really don't when it comes to black people. We just think, oh, the dark-skinned black person has the end-all, be-all say of things. And they should be the primary representation. They should have the primary say. They're the only ones that matter. Their phenotype is the only one that's actually legitimized. It's annoying. When, in reality, they're no different than the rest of us. They're not more black than the rest of us. DNA tests have proven half the time dark-skinned black people are less black than brown-skinned black people and light-skinned black people. So it's like, they don't have any more understanding of blackness. They don't have any more right to blackness. They don't have any more representation or better representation of blackness. Their blackness is just a different blackness than brown skin blackness and light skin blackness. That's all. So that's all I have to say in this video. Thanks for watching and bye.